Well, it's 6:30. This is the Painesville Township.
Oh, sorry, give me a moment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's new. Okay, we're live.
Okay, this is the Painesville Township Board of Zoning Appeals, and we're going to get this meeting underway. Call the meeting to order. First of all, since we are in attendance, we'll ask that we stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Rachel, if you would please do a roll call of the members of the board, please, for the record.
Okay, Dave Anzera,
Here.
Dave Lindros,
Here.
Randy,
Here.
Ken,
Here.
and Chairman.
Here. Okay, Jason, I don't think we're going to have anybody here, but if we do, we'll ask you to swear them in if anybody shows up there. All right, so the public hearing, Rachel, if you would like to read case 21 BZA-01, this is continued from April 13th.
Okay, applicant Hema J1 LLC filed a variance application for property located at 880 Oakwood Boulevard. The request is to allow a 31-foot by 15-foot pole building to maintain a 0-foot setback from the main dwelling in violation of section 15.02 C5, which requires a minimum separation of 10 feet between accessory structures and a dwelling.
Okay, again, there's been no error in the requirement for a variance here. So I'm gonna ask Harley to just expound on what has happened since our last meeting, if you could. We all got an email, but if you could just go over it for us.
Hey, I'm so sorry, can I borrow your microphone?
Yep.
Thank you. We're getting one replaced.
Okay.
So the applicant had the survey done as requested by the board. Upon completion of the survey, he discovered that his accessory structure was closer to the property lines than he had proposed in his application. In addition to that discovery, the fire chief and myself had conducted an inspection on the property. Again, per the board's request, the fire chief felt that there was no concern from a fire standpoint that would require a fire-rated wall or a further distance away from the dwelling. He said that the requirement for the fire-rated wall is for a garage structure, an attached garage structure, and the building in question is too shallow to accommodate a vehicle.
Okay.
In addition to that, the presence of aluminum siding was another reassuring factor for the fire chief at the time of our inspection. The applicant is not here during this meeting because due to our receipt of these documents and the expected revision of the request, we were unable to get a legal notice out for those revisions. So we have to postpone the hearing for the revisions until the next meeting.
Okay. With that said, I think we're going to talk a little bit to the board. According to the fire chief, we could consider this either an attachment or a detached building. Is that correct?
Yes, and I don't believe my photos quite do it justice, but just looking at the structure, it's not attached in any way. It's not screwed into the wall. There is a line of sunlight between the roof and the wall of the building. So it isn't anchored to the main dwelling in any way.
All right, so I guess it's best just to leave it as an outbuilding. And
But
so the
Carly-
variance is going to read, go ahead, Ken.
I'm sorry, but then we're back into
then if it's detached, then it's gotta have the 20 feet distance from the structure.
Yes, but it's now 10 feet. That's a relatively new revision to
Okay.
the zoning code, but
So
yes.
we are back to that, then, that would be a
Yes.
variance he would need.
So we're gonna be looking at 3 variances: side yard, rear yard, and the distance from the dwelling, is that correct?
And the size of the structure. I believe it exceeds 875 square feet. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me look at it again. Oh, I do not have my document. Does anyone have it in front of them that can tell me what
I got 465 square feet.
Oh, well then never mind. I apologize.
Yeah, that's what I thought, okay. So the new legal notice that's gonna go out will address those 3 variances: the setback from the house at 0 and, well, you call it 6 inches instead of 10 feet, the side yard clearance and the rear yard clearance.
Yes.
Okay, and then it's my understanding from our discussion last month that if we grant this variance, we can put put something on it. It still has to pass he still has to get a permit and has to pass a safety inspection by the county or whoever's in charge of that. And if none of those happen, then the variance is null and void?
If the board chooses to place that condition upon the granting of or obtaining a building permit from the Lake County Building Department, we can do that.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if that would be I don't know if that needs to go in the variance request or not, if we just,
Would we be required to do that? Because if he attempts to get a building permit and is denied, then is not the variance then a moot point for him?
You know, honestly, so the variance, what the board is deciding on is permitting an accessory structure, any accessory structure of this square footage to be 6 inches from the dwelling and 2 feet and some odd inches from the property lines. What we could do, if the building department chooses not to grant a building permit for the structure because it just doesn't meet code, the building department would then be responsible for enforcing the removal of the building. If the building department decided that this building needed to be removed, but the applicant wanted to rebuild, the variance could, without this condition, the variance could stay in place for a new structure that meets code, that could be approved by the building department.
just so that's all legally documented.
Yeah, no, yeah, what Harley said is right. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, all right. So all we need to do is just either pass or deny the variance
Yes,
at the next meeting.
yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right, any other questions? Someone like to make a motion to continue 21 BZA 01?
I'll make a motion to continue 21 BZA 01.
I'll second.
Rachel?
That was Dave.
You can.
Okay. Okay, Dave and Zara,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Randy,
Yes.
Dave Lindrose,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So that pretty much closes the public hearing. Not much on it tonight. So with that, we'll open the regular meeting. Has everyone had a chance to go over the minutes that were in our packet? Anybody see any changes that need to be made to those?
Looks good to me.
Good.
Okay, someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman. Approve the minutes as submitted.
Okay,
I will second.
Okay, Randy,
Yes.
Ken,
Can
Oh,
I,
that's
can I
right.
vote on that?
no,
or
you
not?
weren't, you weren't
I
here.
wasn't at the meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, so you,
Yeah, I mean, technically, if we're going by Robert's rules, you still can vote to approve them, but you can also abstain if you don't feel comfortable.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Dave Lindrose,
Yes.
Dave and Zara,
Yes.
and Chairman.
yes,
Okay.
okay. Old business, I see we have none. New business, we have a couple of conditional use permits that need to be looked at and extended if we feel like doing so. So, Rachel, would you read case 11 BZA 03R21, please?
Okay. Applicant Riser Foods Company submitted an application for a conditional use permit renewal on behalf of Giant Eagle for property located at 1201 Menor Avenue. The request is for a 5-year renewal of the existing conditional use permit for the outdoor display of seasonal merchandise, red box movie kiosk, etc., with no conditions imposed.
At this time, I'll just ask our zoning inspector, no complaints, no problems in the last 5 years?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion. We approve case number 11 BZA 03R21 as submitted.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Do we need to make it for 5 years?
It's part
It's
of
already
it.
in.
It's part of the request. Request is for 5 years. Okay.
Okay. Dave Lindros,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Dave and Zara,
Yes.
Randy,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay, Rachel, when you're finished there, if you could read case 10 BZA 05R21, please, which is another renewal.
Okay, how do you pronounce
However you pronounce it, we'll go with it.
Shaylin?
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 Close enough.
Yeah, okay. Applicant Shaylin LLC submitted an application for a conditional use permit renewal on behalf of Subway for property located at 1464 Menor Avenue. The request is for a 5-year renewal of the existing conditional use permit to operate a drive-through in conjunction with a permitted restaurant use. Original conditions were 5-year term. The 3 southwest corner parking spaces shall be designated compact cars only, and the curb on the western sideline shall be 12 inches in height as opposed to the 6-inch curb proposed.
Okay, again, no error. I kind of remember this one. Have there been any complaints from the barber shop next door?
No.
They were the main objectors to this back in the day.
Yeah, they've got that wall there now, which I think
Yeah, okay.
solved all that for them.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve case number 10 BZA 05R21.
I'll second.
Rachel?
Okay, Dave and Zara,
Yes.
Dave Lindros,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Randy,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay. With that brings us to point number 10, adjournment. Next regular meeting dated Tuesday, June 15th. Is there anybody knows that they will not be here?
I will not be here. I'll be in the Outer Banks.
I'm curious, why are we on the third Tuesday instead of the second?
June 8th.
Did I write that wrong?
Mine
Oh,
says
is it-
June
Oh.
15th.
Regular meeting date Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. Is it
It's June 8th.
June 8th? Okay,
Sorry.
I'll be here.
okay,
Yeah, those weeks are tricky.
June 8th.
Yeah.
I should have caught it. Sorry.
I'm still really bad at looking at the calendar.
Okay, if anybody, just for future reference, if anybody knows between now and then, if something comes up, please let Rachel or Harley know so we can make sure we get the packet to Dale, who's the alternate. He's very good at responding. He lives right down the road, so, but, you know, even if it's last minute. Okay? Well, thank you all for coming. It's nice seeing everyone's faces again. And my wife's gonna be very surprised when I get home this quick from this meeting.
Oh, you're going straight home after this then?
No, I'm gonna pick her up. We're gonna go to Hell Reels.
Oh, there you go. Good for you.
You know, we went in there, so we're adjourned, right?
Yeah.
Adjournment at 6:45.
Yes. We went in there Saturday night. You couldn't get a table.
Oh, really?